Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're checking in with this live. If you're here live, welcome in. If you're watching this on replay, I'm glad, and leave me a comment and let me know what city and state or country you are tuning in from. So, as you can see, I put consistency in this title. And a lot of times, most of the times, and it is a part of the formula for success, especially in social media. The formula, well, part of it is consistency. So people always say, you have to be consistent, you have to show up, you have to post, you have to upload videos and, do all these things, show up. If you're going to start something, you got to keep it going. If you're going live, you have to be consistent with it. Don't stop till you get enough. Just keep going. And I get that. I understand that. And that is 100% true. That's with anything in your life. If you want success, you have to be consistent with it. But one of the things that I think people have missed, and I'm not even talking now about social media or anything like that or YouTube. Again, listen, I'm just jumping in the car. I just got ready and this is just how it is. But I'm not even talking about, just being consistent on YouTube or on any other platform. I mean, consistent in your personal life, in your business, in your career. And that's with consistency with how you show up, how you are treating everyone that you encounter. There's so many people that are like good with some things and or good with some people, and maybe they have had some type of situation with another, and I'm talking now on a professional tip, in the workplace. And maybe someone they just not feeling for whatever reason, but if the business causes you to work with them, to collaborate with them, you have to really check your posture sometimes and make sure that you're still showing up as your branded self. If you want to be known as someone that gets the job done, that is professional, that knows what they're doing, that are competent, you can't let your feelings towards somebody else, good, bad, or indifferent, impact how you show up and how consistent you are. Because some people will look at that, at how you, as how you're showing up in that moment, as who you truly are, and they won't want to do anything with you. So many people will say, well, I didn't really like that person, or I just didn't, I wasn't rocking with them or whatever. And, you know, I just did what they told me and nothing more. And it showed, and that's not going to impact them. It's going to impact you. Yeah, it may impact the project. And if they're the lead on that project, it may cause them to not do it as well or anything. And I saw someone gave me some thumbs. So thank you for that. I can't see who it was. Thank you for the thumbs. But so you want to make sure that how you're showing up, which is what you have control over, is consistent. Don't worry about the people, what they're saying or what they're doing. If they're treating you some kind of way and you're an adult, you need to take them to the side and have that conversation. It doesn't have to be anything that is confrontational. It's just a conversation to get a better understanding. Maybe they have a misunderstanding too on their end. Maybe it's something that you may have done. I see Samson Henry. Sam is in the building. Hello. JP, hello to you. Jehovah's, hello. How are you? I cannot be your girlfriend. I am happily married. I've been married. Next week will be 30 years married. So that will not be a possibility. But thank you for asking. I hope everyone is having a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I know different parts of the country, different parts of the world, it's different time zones. And it may be the evening for you. So welcome in. And thank you for the pink hands, JP. I appreciate that. So again, it's about being consistent with who you are. Don't let anyone have that much control over you where they're taking you out of who you truly are, because it's only going to impact you negatively, not them. And it's so crazy how sometimes people will walk away from a situation where they may have acted differently because of the way they felt about the situation or about the people involved. And they're like, yeah, I didn't do anything. I just sat in the back. I was in the cut. I didn't say a word. Yeah, and that's why you're going to be overlooked because you don't know who is watching, you don't know who's in the building, you don't know who's receiving the report about how everyone showed up, what everyone was doing. And when they read your name and see on the report that you really weren't a major contributor, then you're going to be overlooked. And now you've given that person even more over you because of how you felt in that moment and you responded in the way that you were feeling. We all have feelings. Yes, we do. And a lot of times people respond in their feelings and it makes them inconsistent, and that makes them also look kind of, strange to the people that want to do things with them because they're like, wait, they're sometimey. Remember that when people used to call people sometimey? There's sometimes like this and there's sometimes like that. You want to be consistent with how you are. And let's see who else. Staying off the grid, welcome in. Light is the right skin. All right, welcome in. Loving myself is here. DJ is here. Thank you all for being here. And loving myself, I appreciate you for being here as the mod. I appreciate that. So, you just want to have consistency all around, and that's in all of your relationships, even in your personal relationships. If you are loving and kind and generous one moment, and then the next moment you are mean, hateful, and scary, then you need to also check that. Why are you ebbs and flows? Why are you hot and cold? And at some point, you have to look at yourself. It's not always the other person. Maybe they are that trigger for you, but do you know what your triggers are and why is that a trigger for you? So whenever you find yourself not being consistent with how you're moving, how you're working, how you're dealing with other people in your personal or private, or professional life, with how you're just showing up, if you're finding that, sometimes you have an attitude, you don't even know why you have an attitude, you need to really do some self-reflection, be more mindful, have more self-awareness of your emotions, be able to name them. Don't just call it happy and sad. There's so many other words for emotions that can better describe what you're feeling and what you're going through. So sit back and have moments with yourself to determine what is really going on and why is it going on? Is it something that you've experienced as a child and it's just, some triggers just make it come back up? Is it, maybe the way that a person's tone is with you and it's just not favorable, but at that point, instead of you responding how they want you to, or you responding that's not in a consistent way or in a consistent manner of which you want to be known for, you need to have that conversation with them and be like, why is this happening? Your tone really elevates me and makes me step out of, who I want to be. That's not even in a healthy way. And let's try to figure this out because they probably need to have some self-reflection too. It definitely goes both ways. I'm not saying that it's all the onus is on you. What I'm saying is that you have to take ownership of what you can for, where you're at and who you are. Thank you everyone for speaking. All right, loving myself. Thank you for handling everything. And let's see. Yes, please. It's early, y'all. And if you will come into anyone's life, it doesn't have to be this one, but anyone's life, any time of the day, really, be mindful of the things that you say, how you're showing up. If this is how you're consistently showing up and you're just, wanting to say some things that are left or right and not appropriate, then there's other channels for that or your own channel for that for sure. But this right here, we're just trying to share some information. We're trying to keep it light, the energy high. It's not about information that is going to detour someone, take them off the trail or the track. We really want to be positive here. And if you are finding that you don't have positivity in your life, maybe you need to be more positive consistently so that then you can attract more positivity to you. And that's just how it is. That's the law of attraction, is you attract what you are. And hopefully in your real life you're attracting some great people, some great energy, and people that truly love you and like you. We all deserve that. We do. And so I my hope and my dream for you is that you are getting that, because if you were getting that, then you wouldn't feel the urge to be so mean and negative to other people or say wayward things. That's just what I believe. Let me know if you believe that too, because that's just the way of the world. And what they say, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar for sure. So, in life, just be consistent. And again, if that's who you are consistently, if your energy is low consistently, there's ways to turn that around, but you have to want to do that. It's not something that someone could want for you. You have to want it more for yourself because it's going to take your actions. No one can make you, absolutely not, but you have to know that. Look around and see what's going on in your life and say, I want to make that change. And it's going to be up to you from that point on. And I bet you the people around you are going to appreciate it so much. It may take some time because at this point, if you haven't been consistently, higher level with yourself or with others around you, people are probably responding to you the way that is not as favorable for you and is probably triggering for you. But when you change your consistency into something that's more positive and high energy, yeah, at first people are gonna be real cautious because you may have done that before, but haven't been consistent with it. You may have done it for a couple of weeks, a month, maybe a few months, and then you go back, you revert back. And listen, it takes 6 months, not 2 weeks, not 1 month, not 60 days, but 6 months for something new that you're trying to do with your life to become a habit. So give yourself grace. And if you do fall off the track, with trying to be consistent in your life with how you're showing up or with the things that you're doing, give yourself grace and get back on that track because you can always start again. And listen, when you get back on that track, if you fall off from being consistent, you're going to be starting all over again. It's not like, okay, I've been consistent for 5 months and now for these 2 days I fell off. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to get back on because I just have like 3 more weeks and the 6 months will be here. No, you have to start all over because your muscle memory, it reverted back to what you were used to. And you really have to be focused and intentional with it. And that's the way that you communicate with people, and you'll start to see them coming around because again at first they're going to be hesitant like, wait, is this them for real? And because they may have seen that before, but you have to keep going even if they are still treating you the same. You have to do what's best for you. You have to just continuously push forward and know, like, okay, I'm going to I'm being good. I'm going to be grateful. No, I don't prefer the food that they made, but I'm thankful for it. And I'm going to say thank you instead of cussing them out and telling them I wish we had something else. No, be grateful for the things that people are doing for you. Trust me, a lot of times they are absolutely doing the best that they can do. When you're doing the best that you can do, don't you want people to appreciate it and be grateful for that? And when they are, it makes your consistency even that much stronger. It makes you even want to do it better. So, keep that in mind. How you treating people? Do you want them to treat you the same? And if not, then you definitely want to make some differences. You know what they say, do unto others as you will have them do unto you for sure. But I want you all to keep in mind throughout the day about things that you need to be more consistent with. Is it the quality of work that you're producing? Is it the conversations that you're having in your relationships? Is it the way that you're preparing yourself for the day and showing up just outwardly as well as inwardly? Is it the thoughts that you have? Are you consistent with that? Are you thinking about things, experiencing things that are filling you and not depleting you? What are you doing? You absolutely have a lot of control over many things. Sometimes people say, well, I didn't have a choice. You absolutely do have a choice, especially if you're grown and you can control how you're showing up, the things that you say, what you do, and what you are putting out there. You can't control what other people say, do, or think, but you can absolutely control yourself. So do that and do it with better consistency. There's all different types of consistency. You can consistently do something wrong. You can consistently hurt people's feelings. But we don't want to continue with that. We have enough going on in this world, in this country, where we don't have to do anything to each other. Listen, there's a lot going on. So whatever we are doing to each other, let's make it a good thing. All right. And all right. Thank you loving myself for handling the chat. I appreciate that. So, if you are watching this in the replay, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment about what in your life do you need to be more consistent with. Is it your relationships? Is it the quality of work that you're producing? Is it yourself and how you're just taking care of yourself, having more consistency with that? Be real gentle with yourself. Have grace for yourself so that you can then turn and do that for others. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you today, this morning anyway. I hope you all have a wonderful Friday. And remember, practice every day. Practice so hard that when you get into play, you will always play to win. It's been my pleasure. And thank you, loving myself. It's been my pleasure. I am Coach Sherri.